Ian, thanks for joining us after the game this afternoon. It's been quite a week, to say the least, hasn't it, for everybody at the club? Your thoughts?
I've had easier weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's always difficult doing a job like that anyway. But when it's someone like Liam, who's such a massive character at the club, and will continue to be a massive character at the club, but when it's someone like Liam, it makes it all the more difficult because he's, everyone knows he's a fantastic manager, and he's a great person as well, which again never makes it easy. But at the same time, we knew things went right. When I spoke to Liam, he's the first to admit that we were struggling, and I think it became obvious when changes needed to be made.
Yeah. Was it a difficult decision? Because, like you say, we've all known and loved Liam for many years, haven't we? And it's.
As I say, it's always been. It would be great if you didn't get on with the manager, because it'd be a lot easier job. Yeah. And we all know that last season didn't end brilliantly. We know that myself, Liam, we spent a lot of time at the end of last season looking at what went wrong. And I've been in that position before with other managers when we've ended the season poorly. And I've had chats with the managers and I've said to them, look, what's gone wrong and what do we do to put it right so it doesn't happen again? And on those occasions, the manager was unable to tell me what he was going to do and how he was going to change it. Liam being Liam, that wasn't the case last season. Literally, as we were walking off the pitch at Leamington, he already had plans as to where we were going, what we were doing, how we were going to do it. Yeah. And I dare say people question why we didn't make the decision at the end of last season, but when someone like Liam, with Liam's past history and Liam's expertise in the job, is telling you his plans and telling you how he's going to go forward next season, and that involves David Morgan, it involves Marcus Carver, then there's no way in the world you're not going to give it a chance to work. And I think we saw in the games against Oldham, in the game against Tranmere, that they're a good bunch of lads that were putting together and a good squad. But then obviously the first 3 games didn't go that way. And I have to be realistic. Liam is very realistic, and it wasn't working.
It got difficult, didn't it? Because I've seen some of the abuse that was online, and some of the I heard it at Alfreton and all. That was appalling towards Liam, wasn't it? After all the years and all he's done.
It's that's been the more difficult part of the last 2 or 3 weeks. We saw it last season. And I don't know why, but people obviously seem to think that they have the ability now to say what they want, to whom they want, when they want. Liam as a person, as a human being, doesn't deserve that, and didn't deserve that, and Liam as a manager didn't. It's all very well. I fully accept that people have an opinion, but to express it the way that some people were, and it goes beyond that, because obviously Liam wasn't the only target of the abuse. When we're in a situation after 3 games, we've got to remember it's 3 games this season, and when I say fans, I'd like to think it wasn't fans, but when people are sending direct messages abusing the players, that's not going to help the situation. No. It's not going to help the situation, and again we find ourselves in a position now where those messages are being sent to me from the players. I'm obviously under a duty to kind of protect the players, and we will. And those messages will all be passed on to the police, because at the end of the day, they're abusive, they're illegal, and it shouldn't be happening. And particularly at a time like this, when really, we'd want everyone at the club to be pulling together. Everyone is working hard. Everyone is trying to change where we're at and what's going forward. So that hurts. That's difficult. It hurts the players. It hurts everyone. And I know it's easy for me to say when we've had 3 games and we've lost 3 games now, 4 today. But it really is a time to pull together. It hurts when we see fans going on social media telling everyone to stay away and vote with your feet. That hurts the players. That hurts everyone.
It doesn't do anybody any good, does it? What good is that going to do?
When you got fans, a fan messaging in after 1 game of the season at home, asking for refunds on season tickets, that hurts everyone involved at the club. That hurts me, it hurts the directors, it hurts all the volunteers who put in so much time. We are trying to change where we're at. we're in a period now where we can look at our options, look at who else is around. I think everyone will support me in saying that Andy and Morgs today, you can see the changes. You can see the changes in how the lads are playing, and that's on the back of one training session. So I think what we need to do is take a big breath, and calm everything down, let the dust settle, and then just see where we are in a few days.
What are your plans moving forward then, Ian? Like you say, you just want to give it a bit of time to see how things go?
Yeah, because we've been balancing, we've been kind of juggling lots of balls at the moment in the sense of...
it's never an easy life, is it?
No, it isn't, because, I think, we discussed a couple of times as well that through the summer there's been a couple of different groups of investors involved.
Yeah.
I've signed at least 2 NDAs with different groups of investors.
Is that where we're up to with that? I was going to go on to that.
Yeah, the situation, it's an unusual situation because in a lot of these scenarios it's effectively a fire sale. The club's in trouble. It's kind of there for whoever wants it and see what happens. That's not the situation here. The situation here is that we're looking to bring in investors who we think can take the football club on, who we think can kind of bring to the club what it may be missing at the moment. And in that respect, we want the investors to do their work on us, which they have been doing all summer. And to be fair, they've been here 3 or 4 games through the summer. We're doing our homework on them.
You have to be careful, don't you, in a situation like this? We've seen it going, some clubs go horribly wrong.
We do, and there will be more go horribly wrong in the near future. But we're not in a situation where we're desperate. We need the right group of people, the right group of investors. As I say, we've signed 2 NDAs, got 2 over the pocket, as it were, and the ball's very much in their court now as to taking it further, because we've done our homework. They've done their homework. We just need to have that move on, and obviously at the same time, this start of the season we all know hasn't been great, and we've now got a situation where we're looking for a new manager.
Yeah. So
it's balancing all those things. We've got no right to ask for patience from the fans after the end of last season, but we are, because I think Andy and Morgs. I went to the training session, spoke to the lads on Thursday. And everyone can see the commitment that Andy and Morgs have put in one session.
Yeah.
And as I say, I hope everyone can see how the football has changed today.
Yeah.
In the sense of what Andy and Morgs will bring differently, and that buys us time to look and or find the right people, the right combination, and then take it from there.
Good. I know when we first spoke, when you came in as chairman and you had the new board, and you said it was probably the most difficult decision you'd ever have to make was the departure of Liam. It's happened now. It's time to move on, though, isn't it?
It is, and again, I don't think, I personally, I'm quite looking forward to the future moving forward with Liam on the board.
Yeah.
Because as I said earlier,
so much to bring, hasn't he?
He's a fantastic footballing brain, but I think what he's learned in the last couple of years is that he's also got the ability to talk Southport to everyone and anyone. And you've only got to look around the ground at the amount of sponsorship boards that we've got, and then if we kind of try to figure out how many of them Liam has brought in, it's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gaining as a board. He as I say, he's 100% Southport, and again, and I don't want to harp back to the abuse, but he's a genuinely 100%, nice person. Great person.
Yeah.
And any other club would love to have a Liam Watson on their board.
Yeah.
We've just got to get to a point where the natural reaction to anything that goes wrong isn't to get on social media and abuse the manager, abuse the players, because the players have turned up to the last 2 games now having received all this abuse online. It's not easy.
Not pleasant.
It's not good, and we have to do something about it.
Just to finish on a positive, Ian, we've got plenty of games to go, a lot better today. I'm sure we can pull away. And
for everything that I say about Liam, and for all the reasons that I don't want to be stood here talking about it, we can't ignore the fact that this is an exciting time moving forward. We look at the kind of potential new managers that we could get and we could bring in. It's my job now to sit down with the rest of the board and kind of look at who's applying. But there's definitely a feel of excitement there. There's definitely kind of a genuine excitement as to if we get this management right, if we get the new manager in place and we can move forward with these sponsors, then the club is in a really good place. Personally, I think it's in a good place anyway. But if we can now get it into an even positive, stronger place, then that's never a bad thing.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ian.